Bit of a rant, really, because I was on the radio. I don't live stream all the time. Sometimes I just get on the radio and have a chat to people and do stuff. And I was called by Vernon John, VJ. He's well known. He's M3. I can't remember what his call sign is, and Vernon won't mind me calling him out, okay, because he's a thick-skinned guy. But part of his call sign's obviously, I can't remember it, but it's got Y in it. Y as in Yankee, okay? But when Vernon called me, he went Mike 3, Yokohama, something, whatever. Now, I'm not joking, and some people might think this is a bit weird, but when people say Yokohama to me, I sometimes genuinely think of a U, as in uniform, Yokohama, right? And also, I've had times when I've been on the radio and they've been 3 and 1, 2 and 1. I can barely hear them, right? And as long as they use the standard spelling alphabet, the NATO spelling alphabet, it's called the phonetic alphabet, but that's actually not quite right. It's actually the spelling alphabet. As long as they use that, I'm okay. Because when all of a sudden, halfway through this, they're trying to get a piece of data to me, their name, and I hear Germany and London. I'm not quite sure, do they live in Germany or London? Or is that part of, my name is Glenn. Well, I don't hear that. I hear Germany, London, Ecuador, I don't know, Nigeria. I've got no idea. But if he said Golf, Lima, and then I don't hear this, and maybe I don't hear that, but I know it's 4 letters, I think Glenn. I can normally piece it together if they've said it the right way. Now, this might be a bit contentious, but if you have... Well, I don't want to be contentious, so I'm not going to say it, right? With great reach comes great responsibility. So my tip of today is try and use... I'll put this in the description, but try and use the letters that they give us. And if you read this, it's really clever, because if they spent hours, days, years of people making mistakes, landing in wrong airports and all sorts of stuff to end up with the best characters we can use to get data across. This all started, back 100 years ago. The last time it was adjusted, I think, was either 46 or 1946 or I think it might be 1965, but it's even telling us how to say it. So pick out your call sign, for instance. Here, I'm Mike Charlie X-ray. So I say Mike, Charlie, Charlie. Or if in doubt, Charlie. Because if you are 2 and 1, 3 and 1, 5 and 2 with QSB, it's really important. What's echo? Echo. And be ridiculously over the top about it. Really get your diction right. And by the way, I'm going to do another video about calling CQ and answering people if you're calling me, all right? Because very often, as I know one guy who says to me, now in fairness, the one letter that does annoy me is golf, okay? Golf. But there's a way around it, is you overemphasize it. Golf, completely over the top. It might sound ridiculous when you're sitting in your shack to say letters like this, but if he's running 400 or 500 watts on a dipole and you're running 5 watts on a dipole, he's going to hardly hear you, all right? So you've got to really go over the top with your call sign, but stick to the blooming phonetic alphabet. I do get people saying, my name's Glenn, all right? I don't know if I've had a Glenn recently. And they'll do this, Germany, London, Ecuador, Nigeria, whatever. I think they sound really stupid. I really do. I know we all want to be unique, but isn't Glenn and your call sign unique enough for you? Try and stick to it, because you gain the respect of everybody around you as well. If you go off at a tangent and try and be too unique, people go, what is your problem, really? Come on. So just think about it. People have spent years in committees, and people have fallen out of the sky because, they didn't fill up with the right amount of fuel because they weren't using the right phonetic alphabet. Okay? It's now called, I think they call it the NATO, but this was unbelievably, this was actually a secret document, right? But it's out now, obviously, it has been for years. But it's a good way. And whether you are, I believe the Civil Aviation Authority in the UK have adopted it. I'm not quite sure. I've got a funny feeling that aircraft might be different. If you know differently, let's read the comments. It'll be interesting. It's the aviation may use something very slightly different because there was the Abel Baker phonetic alphabet as well. Allied Military Phonetic Alphabet. This had, so it started, going back to 1914, so we had apples and butter, right? And is there any other? Ink for eye, monkey and nuts, orange and pudding, right? That's Alpha Bravo Charlie. This is the new one since 56, it says. There we are. The RAF had their own one, but it looks like they've come down as well. Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta, US Navy. So in fact, I just got a funny feeling that something to do with aircraft or the civilian aircraft might have a very few letters that are slightly different. If you know any different, anyway, let me know. That's my rant for today. Next video's here, and there's a playlist underneath it which you might enjoy. All right, have a lovely day. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.